How to create more abundance in your life and business. Hi, I'm Lucy Griffiths, and I talk about all things course creation and the online world. But I'm actually really spiritual, and I think that being in alignment with who you are and what you're meant to be will help everything flow in your life, whether that is when we're talking about business, but also in your personal life, in the way that you show up for your children, for your relationships, all of those things. If you are feeling happier and more in alignment with yourself, you will automatically just open yourself up to more abundance. And so it is really important to find yourself, okay? And be true to you. And I just want to share a little bit about my life a few years ago. So I found myself in sort of just before the pandemic, like, a year or two before, I was very much in kind of hustle and strive and pushing and quite a sort of masculine alpha sort of mentality of like, right, let's get this done, and all of this kind of, hustling and going for it. And I got to a point where it was, I was saying yes to projects that I didn't really want to do. And so I was basically involved in several joint ventures where I didn't really want to do them. I'd said yes because my husband wanted me to do them, or I felt somehow obligated to my business partner, or, and so I was doing these projects and I was exhausted and drained by them. And some of these projects were like with major, massive brands, okay? And the thing is that on the sort of on paper, these were huge, mega international brands and, millions of subscribers and you name it. And so from the ego perspective, it was like, oh, well, you should be doing this. This is such a massive potential for you. Of course you should be doing this. Yes, go for it. And so, of course, the should factor kicked in. And I said yes to all these opportunities. But there was this little voice in my head that was like, no, what are you doing? No. And so during the pandemic, I was quite sick. And so in my recovery, I was then like, I just felt like I wanted to get back in flow and find my flow. And when you're in flow, life is so much easier. There's an ease, there's a simplicity, and things are in alignment. So opportunities open up for you in a really just simple, lovely way, rather than you having to hustle and push. And now I just really believe that if you are having to hustle and push for something, then don't do it. If it happens really easily, then great, go ahead and do it. But if it doesn't, like whether it's buying a house or going for a new job or whatever it may be, if there is kind of a push mentality and there's a challenge, and that, then I always think, why is that? It means that it's not meant to happen. Whereas if there's an ease, a simplicity, and things just open up for you, then it's like, oh, okay, it's meant to happen. When you are in alignment, things happen that are easy and natural to you. And so whatever it may be, like a business opportunity, if you're having to hustle and push, then maybe something's off and it's not quite right. And so a lot of those business opportunities I had that were amazing, like potential, it was a should factor. Oh, you should do it. But actually there was something not quite right and in alignment. So during the pandemic, when I was, after I'd been very sick and I was, there was a lot going on, I started having Reiki sessions, and that really helped me to get back into my flow and find my center. And so once I was in my center and my flow, actually, I then started making better decisions. I was enhancing my feminine energy, my intuition, and I was making decisions based on that and listening to my inner voice. And every morning now I'll meditate and I'll journal, and I literally will write from my inner voice. So it's so weird to explain, but it's like, it's another person telling me what to do. And sometimes I'll read it and be like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, the reason that I'm here creating YouTube videos every day is because this inner voice has told me to do this. And so I'm like, okay, all right, I'll go with it. I'll do it. And so it's amazing what things come up. But because of that, I found that I'm creating more abundance, like opportunities are coming more easily to me, and just things are in flow. And so when you are in flow, things happen to you. And so open yourself up to that flow. And it may be that Reiki sessions help you, or maybe like I love Reiki on YouTube, as well as I see somebody in person. But meditation also really helps me get in alignment. So when I'm in that space of alignment, then actually I am making better decisions. And so when I make better decisions, then I'm able to manifest more in my life. Abundance and opportunities come to me. That's abundance of, clients showing up who I'm like, oh, wow, okay, yeah. And so it's not a challenge. Like before, I remember, I'd be pushing for things and striving to get this, and it was much more like hustle, and that's gone away. And so I work much less hours. I work about 4 hours a day now, but these opportunities are just opening up to me. They present themselves to me. Like, people will just email me and say, oh, I'd love to work with you and do this. And it's like, oh yeah, okay. And so when you are in your flow, the universe opens up to you. When you are in a place of stress and difficulty and challenge, things are much harder. Doors close and you're like, oh, I'm having to hustle, and why is this so difficult? And that really is about being in alignment, being grateful for the amazing life, the amazing abundance that you have in your life. And when you start seeing that abundance of, just being grateful for the life you have, your children, the sun shining, the trees, whatever it may be, appreciating those small things, and everything opens up. And it's the same for me with like relationships. When I'm in that flow state, actually my relationships are so much better. And that feels so much more abundant too, because, I have better relationships with my mom, or with, just I'm more present with my son, or just in, romantic relationships, whatever it may be. Those opportunities open up for you. And so that is the beautiful thing when you are in your flow. I hope you enjoy this video. And, I know it's slightly different to what I normally talk about, but it's really important to find your flow and manifest that beautiful abundance that is so possible for you. And when you step into that alignment, everything else opens up for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love you to stick around. And maybe if you liked it, let me know in the comments, and I'll do more of these kind of videos, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, bye, bye.